PA boss EDUDZI makro se hwe o ka se me che Ghana for Dr. Bawumia 2024 election economy ni damage ni career no economy damage ni campaign no enti NPP for no omo bompa say mahama economy ne bese ya bro so let me revive Dr. Bawumia career no and enti na wahu GoldBod issues na cost ni nyina cost to bomb some ya no me say losses they are affecting economy no eno na EDUDZI makro. Now, number 2, Donkor Fuseini Donkor. It's quite interesting. Was it here? After market, yes. After market, I see Sammy Gyamfi Erica G. But don't know who say. Sammy Gyamfi don't want to say issue wrong. And after market, go on the counter call. He's fighting some group of cartels. Yeah, I'm faceless. Money. They God who did it. They are Sammy Gyamfi Ebojuma. Sorry. Oh, Bojuma. I'm out for me illegal gold trading. Ain't me smuggling. Almost shakrebi. Ana man say no come be your corner. Sammy Gyamfi money na ho. Enya afanya marking go around the kontokwa. There are some faceless people be behind it. Why expose you omo? We both videos ni nyina ma on so katwa show. Message also subscribe. We are not any bell notification icon video no drop here. Once feel free to leave your comment in the comment section. We share link no na afofro anya bi ahwe. Lily Flower Green Clean Solution Center. Make I was help a clinic company. Papa, I'm another preferences you fee honum office, church, bank, institution. I'm a why come away from the show. Friend numbers new good screens. I can't imagine trying to pull and farm. Back home access.com say we Ghana new one on it. Who see feel Ghana and say who see business. Who contact us be. Who you too sure of the ecoso. Your professional group you register. Young kwani who to me. And the friend for your errand boy. When the baby amas will be a call. You call us as soon as they are share. Maybe a Daniel say drew. You have my pictures, my videos, just some report. And duty abuchi at some Ghana and say assassin. You have share. You come to create the actual. We first of real estate surveillance into a butcher fashion in trying to put a farm. For no money, I say, Oberlog go to backhomeaccess.com. No place or request. I think somebody don't confuse the HRC. A half one or so more faceless people are or more behind after your markings and make talk where you to
Obi, the whole thing now, Bano, hey, GoldBod. Enna, Abaye and say, strategically, yes, you are a regulator, but you are also just like CocoaBoard, no, you are also a marketer. And you know, CocoaBoard regulates every cocoa beans and coffee that leaves Ghana. Even now, almost the share batane at Tiakraka cashew.
Is there cashew or kwanda tree crop?
Yes.
Tree crop.
Yes.
Any share batano.
Go under tree crop good. Yes. And you know, what it means is that instead of saying the nebefa mikro pasa. Who fight Chirihua would Togo? What you say? I mean, I was saying no bio. But Uko Lolobi Susurama, Udru Lipene, a Lipea, Unantia over Togo. Also, Mudoko Kupa. So instead of us losing most of our things through these people, no, the regulators' duty, they say, Adiano, emphasize one place, say the buyer buying revenue, and then ono susu koton a sebi instead of say wa o de be koton ma ono nti ebre bi be ba no se de enkofo ko carry omu koko na koko krachifo ato sa na GoldBod be ya bedru baby no obi a obe ye small scale mine no large scale mine no munyina mu de bebre GoldBod na abrofo no se hwan munyina ba o ma ba be 12 free eye GoldBod ho eno no aban benya ne taxes eno no aban nim dudu a efiri o man no emfaso ba aban benya bi ena won so a to efiri o mo ho no so no o mo so benya o mo mfaso because on tono at a lower rate or tono at a commercial rate. Obi, what we shouldn't forget is that we are dealing with a very powerful cartel. Almost so no GoldBod has blocked their businesses. It means yes, I mean, he's not just fighting Afenyo. It's a grand scheme of cartel. Some in the Middle East, even in the Indias and in the Americas, what block your huge multi-billion-dollar investments? And then they will fight you.
But what has that got to do with reports now IMF?
And I make sure say report now IMF they buy or can say GoldBod aye losses we. Where in the report was it stated?
I said on this table will be anchors.
So why are we holding Sammy? It is Sammy na ye kura ni mu say obeko jail onko pay yesu no de baba be ni bail bond there and there no. It Sammy pass e ba ne say na Sammy bail. Why are we taking on Sammy?
When they say, I thought we've gone past it.
Have we gone past it?
Well, now we've decided, sir, you cannot read that report and come to the conclusion, sir, a GoldBod no.
And I make sure, sir.
But his argument is at the end of the day, there is a loss. How do
and I make sure, say almost 7.1 billion now. Must say ye the gold ko je oil keke no kra na efo. And I say ye ko ton gold near ma ye dollar na ye de to amanone no eno kra no e ko wiase na aka be say 1 point something months. Eno no eno so kra mo bo ka 1.7. How did we deal with that issue?
What are you saying?
Because now you are doing just about 3 point something tons of gold. When no at gold to the tune of about 110 tons. What I say? And I don't understand MPPs, especially some of the minority members. I don't understand their posturing. And can come on and here and I say this is what IMF is saying. Said they are accounting losses. They didn't even say I don't know the kind of Samia Bokase and I say Bank of Ghana Bokase. IMF expression was that these were accounting losses. Especially first one I buying was the 214 million.
And it was for the about last year. No?
What I say? So for me, no, ye discussion we are. If it is about Bank of Ghana, let's deal with it.
But I think that's what Kofi has done.
Minya, the conversation is not about Kofi.
Okay.
Kofi Nkwadyanka, you see, as I don't know, ya two bomb no, but the chain reaction now let's revise the note. And we be na Kofi yawa. Inka post any say we would have been discussing. There wouldn't have been any response from Sammy. There wouldn't have been any. Otherwise, we would have all been discussing Bank of Ghana issue.
Yeah, but we can still discuss it. Sir,
Obi, there be said the more di no mundi kon one hwe nso na koka obi afu. Oti ase enu na me pese ye nyina ye situate ade ni yi.
Okay.
Is this the first time Bank of Ghana is making losses?
No.
So why what is the fuss?
By the magnitude, like the quantum.
Na me kire o say 1 year you lose 60 billion. Did the country come to a standstill? Behind Ghana for behind Ghana for your castle, your printing because we printed over 44 billion. Even at a point, Adongo was telling this whole country, say, you printed to the tune of about 70 billion. Eddie buying. Here they supporting government the budgetary then. But Pimone says he can will be a fire. You are buying crowd here. Say no be no medical 2 Amanawa Cathedral no, I don't know. So why are we making it look as if say BC than a BSC? That is a deceit. Any yada. And no chess MPP for no enya adwin pa no de ka asem no. Na mom ye pasem be dia two obi so because ya pest scandal aye nya bintinu ye nkofa emfam be scandal. Bank of Ghana making losses is not a crime. What I say? You made losses in almost all your 8 years. Yachi Obiatum. Yachi Obiatum say, Tamano ye governor no, there was losses at the Bank of Ghana.
And that's how we Jumana a cano man in criminal.
And I make sure Obi. Even when they were taking over in 2017, Bank of Ghana a negative equity and drew even 1 billion. Omo baya the Kobese 60 billion.
Get your numbers right.
Well, I don't have a problem with you. You can challenge it. In 1 year, you were making losses to the tune of about 60 billion. 1 year per.
Outlier. The 2022 year was a unique year in so many respects.
You see, what we have also forgetting is I'm now MPP for to go 2024. No, every shock after shock will come in 2025. We are forgetting that. Those losses you are talking about, no, what makes you think say in free 2024 never? Because the gold for reserve program was running.
Yeah.
When GoldBod took over, in fact, it took over assets and liabilities.
Yes.
And what makes you think say Nina is coming from what 2025 alone? Ada ni empese ye behwe ne sa. Nti yen hyedan fa samenye the center of attraction. Ni yen totom ayi ateche ne mbo na because you who say even the international communities ni be any nyehu omo pese sa program na Ghana for ye no ebedru baby no Ghana can become economically independent of us. If we don't crash that program it will you know ya joining forces yeni momo pa nkrumania bra independence now no na be ye in the shortest possible time nkrumania bra obuild Ghana na be ni CIA for conspire yeni nyina Obi, GoldBod has come to stay. Say Ghana for who be chiro mama inflation as ko 54 there. Ye bebo ka maintain. Say Ghana for who be chiro mo ama dollar as ko 17 cedis there. Ye bebo ka maintain. That is what Ghanaians voted for us to do. Sikana ye de be 2 amana no. Ye de be cushion dollar no. Ye mfa ko 2 cathedral amana. That is what Ghanaians voted for us to do, and that is what we are doing. Let's stop personalizing the. Who say sebi ubi mi yakola o. Na emum peni kasu otumefo. Na afutu no kwa yatem didia. You don't expect my acceptance of that afutu no to also just be as simple as you want it. Ni yenyina ye titebu esu ya gia tumu se ade no kra ye ka ho asem no. An issue Bank of Ghana. Into why did we make Sammy Gyamfi the center of the whole discussion? It started with Abana Asare. Then he cascaded to Kojo upon Kruma, the Frihuana Asarafidi, minority leader, all because we have scores to settle. Ubi, we don't build a nation like that.
Okay. Enti Donkor Fuseini we pa and I'm duko PM TV3. Eho ana NPA boss EDUDZI Tabakuno say he Dr. Bawumia any NPP one person omo yara mo the GoldBod issue we and revive Dr. Bawumia career. Economy no dey say omo time no. Omo person omo yara mo find fault with Mahamad's economy. For which reason here GoldBod costume po NPP for the person omo yara mo yen losses. Abusia go he.
But you see, Roland, why are we even here in the first place? I think that, Roland, sometimes when serious issues come in this republic, if the minority, and I say this, if the minority has taken a more nationalistic outlook on the IMF report, we possibly wouldn't have gotten to the point where it has now been reduced to smear campaign. We will not. A more nationalistic approach to the IMF report would have resolved this matter. Yes, a more nationalistic approach would have resolved this matter. Why do I say this? When you treat an accounting cost as a loss, you'd want to find out what is the motive for that. Roland, after the financial crisis that happened in the United States, or maybe globally, the subprime
2007, 2008.
Yes, the subprime mortgage crisis. When President Obama took over in 2009, do you know what he did? He took a nationalistic approach, an approach that will save Americans' economy, an approach that will build America for the future. He didn't ask, how did my predecessor sit down and allow this subprime mortgage, blah, 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 blah. No, he didn't do that. He took a nationalistic approach. I think at that time, Ben Bernanke was the Fed boss. They introduced what became known as quantitative easing. What was this quantitative easing business? It was to print money into the United States. It's the US alone that has the power to print the dollar. So the Fed decided to print dollars into the system to ease the pressure that was going to happen, because they took the view that a collapsed US economy is not only to Americans, but to the world. Therefore, they took a decision to protect the US economy and protect the world. What is this IMF conversation all about? That for the first time, a president comes and says, look, from the time of Don Diego de Azambuja, we have been drilling and mining gold, selling gold since that time. But what has really been the value of gold to us? What has really backed our currency? Look, my brother here would admit, every year, finance ministers from time immemorial only relied on cocoa, syndicated loan, and in most cases, bonds, euro bonds, to provide the necessary support for the Ghana cedi. President John Dramani Mahama was in opposition, having assembled his economic advisors, decided, and it's in the NDC manifesto, that the way forward is to have an institution established called the Ghana GoldBod. We've had the Cocoa Board experiment. So therefore, the NDC decided to set up the GoldBod. It is an innovation. Nobody had done that since time immemorial. Why? Because you notice that gold that is so precious, that can provide the necessary stability for the Ghana cedi, we've left it for foreigners. Regrettably, we had no control over the gold trade, no regulation whatsoever. It has to take President Mahama to do that. And by so doing, what we have achieved for the first time in Ghana's history, Roland, is it not curious that for a whole year 2025, government of Ghana had not borrowed $1 euro bond, but the Ghana cedi is strengthened. When the cedi showed strength, our friends in the NPP said it was short-lived. And Kosiaga, this one, it is just for showmanship. We are in the almost 20th month, correct? And the cedi is still strong. 20 months of strength of the Ghana cedi.
And you attribute that to the innovation?
Is it not curious that the people who said that the Ghana cedi would not be strong enough would not have the humility to say we got it wrong? They are new men, new thinking, innovation. People have decided to think outside the box. I think that the governance system that we have, when you are doing something good, we should have the opportunity to say, this one is good. And I have always, and I said it, I have always maintained that free SHS was a good thing. I won't take that away.
You can't dispute that. It's a fact.
So if today, through somebody's innovative thinking, thinking outside the box, we have a GoldBod. Do you know that, Roland? In a year, forest repatriation into the economy was $10 billion. In 6 years, under the NPP administration, in 6 years, we borrowed $11 billion of Eurobond. Can you imagine the interest payment on Eurobond alone? Roland, just for a minute.
But despite this, the minority leader still insists that if you take all things into consideration, the domestic gold purchase program by the government, that's the John Dramani-led government, which is being spearheaded by the GoldBod, has failed as a result of what he calls these losses.
You see,
he said that less than 12 hours ago.
A fair reading, yes, and I choose my word carefully, a fair reading of the IMF report, even the IMF in their report, admits that beyond this, what they create or they called losses, and I call it costs. If you look at it well, they said the benefit has been tremendous.
And they indicated.
Yes, and in the report itself, they catalog what the benefit has been to the economy. I say this. In 3 years, the IMF gave us $3 billion.
Yeah.
Remember, it's a loan. You pay interest on it.
And conditionality.
And conditionalities. That is money making for the IMF. Now you have a situation where through innovation, you've lost 22 billion, 1.7 billion on getting 10 billion. That's a good business decision.
That's right.
If you invest 1.7 billion, listen carefully. If you invest $1.7 billion into an enterprise, and at the end, it brought you $10 billion, $10.8 billion, and a revolving fund, how in God's name can anybody call this a bad initiative? But you see, like I said,
EDUDZI rapper for me.
our friends in the NPP have found themselves in a quagmire. And I'll explain in 30 seconds. You see, you go ahead of yourself to elect a flag bearer. And the strength of that flag bearer that has been sold to all of us is that he's an economic whiz kid. Now, when he goes into an election leading you with a disaster of a result, right, you would need something more to ignite his campaign. Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia was elected by the NPP as flag bearer on 31st of January 2026. And from that time, he's stuck because he needs a crisis. He needs a major disaster, economic in nature,
30 seconds.
to revive his political career.
30 seconds.
Regrettably, that is not happening. And that is why this GoldBod costs, or Bank of Ghana costs,
It's losses.
is now being re-engineered
It's losses.
as losses for the purposes of reviving a campaign that is in a quagmire.
Jamalu.
I am not surprised at all.
Enti National Petroleum Authority boss EDUDZI Tabaklu ana mo tse nka the program no nyina si on Sokatoa show Nana Jantoa TV mo som for Steve Zando ne yanche the big man himself Nana Kojo Janta mo bete nka on Sokatoa show bigidi se ma fe ye mienu trase a na ye church se yanche bia e be sa satwate do the montabi kutu me pa di anim ye be trase de sem nyina e de abrem on Sokatoa show mesa ne madi hia mo biem bye bye.